Hi, I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. Just ahead, Tom Still talks about a threat to angel investing in Wisconsin and beyond. And Mark Bugher of Madison's University Research Park looks back on the growth of the park during his tenure and talks about the park's future. And now, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for late August. Rising home sales. The Wisconsin Realtors Association reports that sales of existing homes in Wisconsin jumped 17%, while the median sale price rose 9% in July. The statewide median price for a home is now $155,000. The fastest sales growth was seen in the West region, which increased 26%, followed by the Southeast, up 21%, and the South Central region, which grew 19%. And falling, taxpayers' stake in Anchor Bank. The recent bankruptcy filing by the parent company of Anchor Bank means taxpayers will take a financial hit as the corporation works to finally clear its books of debt linked to the burst housing bubble in 2008. The U.S. Treasury will cancel $133 million in debt Anchor still owes to the government under the Troubled Asset Relief Program, or TARP. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
Imagine this scenario. An angel investor hears a pitch from XYZ Software, a local startup company. He expresses interest in investing in return for a share of the company. The company founder says her team would be happy to talk, but the Federal Securities and Exchange Commission first requires a little paperwork. That includes a mix of the following: a copy of the angel's tax returns to be kept on file by the company, documents proving that all of the angel's expected income, personal assets, and liabilities are disclosed, a third-party letter from a lawyer, accountant, or broker affirming the investor is accredited under SEC rules. And by the way, it all has to be updated every 3 months. Welcome to the SEC's tortured rulemaking process for the federal Jumpstart Our Business Startups Act. Dubbed the Jobs Act, the legislation was passed by Congress and signed into law by President Obama more than a year ago. Perhaps the law should be renamed the Jeopardizing Our Business Startups Act, because that's precisely what the SEC rules will do if the nation's angel capital industry is buried under a mound of invasive and unnecessary paperwork. For decades, the nation's 200,000 or so angel investors have self-certified as individuals or through organized angel groups that they meet all the rules that allow them to risk their own money in a venture that is not a public offering. The system works. Those 200,000 angels invested about $23 billion in 2012 in roughly 66,000 startup companies, from the most complex technology firms to mom-and-pop stores. That $23 billion represents 90% of the equity such startups get from sources other than themselves, friends, and family. Given the role of angel investors nationally and in Wisconsin, Congress thought it would make sense to end federal prohibitions on the so-called general solicitation of capital for privately offered securities. If it became easier to invest and attract investment dollars, Congress reasoned, more dollars would flow to job-producing startups. Apparently, the SEC rulemakers missed the memo on congressional and presidential intent, but there's still time to get involved. The comment period on the SEC rules is open through September 23rd at the website listed below. Precisely because it's largely self-regulated and run by people who understand small business, angel investing in the United States works. In Wisconsin alone, angels invested $67 million in early-stage companies in 2012. Those kinds of investments could evaporate with government overreach. Let's jumpstart more jobs, not jeopardize them.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Mark Bugher, Director of University Research Park in Madison.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Mark Bugher, Director of University Research Park in Madison and Chairman of the Wisconsin Technology Council. Mark was the guest for Episode 1 of WisBusiness the Show, and he's back for Episode 100. Welcome, Mark.
Nice to be with you, Liz.
University Research Park is home to 37 buildings, about 125 companies, and more than 3,500 workers. What is the expected capacity of URP2 on Madison's far west side, and when will the first tenants take root?
Well, the expansion of the University Research Park on the corner of Mineral Point Road and Junction Road will be ready for construction about 2014, in the spring of 2014. We have a total of 60 sites on that location. Those sites will house about 200 companies when fully absorbed with buildings, and those buildings will employ upwards of 6,000 to 8,000 employees in the vast array of technology businesses that we have here in the greater Madison-Dane County area.
Some rankings show the Madison area economy growing at a slower rate than it did in the past. Are there factors you see down the road that will reverse that trend?
Well, I think we've laid the foundation for steady, solid, and consistent growth in the future. We're kind of a steady Eddie economy here in this south central Wisconsin, and I think all of the ingredients, including the attraction of capital, the ideas that are spun out of the university, the private sector entrepreneurship that comes from private sector companies all across south central Wisconsin, will cause our economy to grow in a steady rate over the course of the next 15 to 20 years. So I have great confidence in the future of our economy in the greater Madison and Dane County area.
You're retiring November 1st after successful careers in local and state government, in real estate, and as director of URP, not to mention advising many governors and chancellors. What's next for Mark Bugher?
Well, a little free time, a little elbow room to enjoy life a little bit, to work on exercise and biking and hiking and golfing and all of those kinds of things that you don't get a chance to do much of when you're busy and actively involved in a whole array of things. I will continue to be involved on several boards that I am currently on and look forward to that. I hopefully will be involved in the early stage startup community and help aspiring entrepreneurs in this marketplace grow and thrive and help their businesses be successful. So by no means am I riding off into the sunset, just a different vehicle, so to speak, from that perspective.
Thanks, Mark, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by BMO Harris, White Hirschbeck Dudek, MG&E, and UW-Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent Put Executive Search. See you next time.